And that's how I look at it. What makes him get more respect than me? You my next door neighbor, you know I tell him? You got yours from your family. I got mine from the ground up, from hard work and dedication.
Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. He's a brilliant defensive fighter. His speed, his boxing savvy. He's just a savant. He's just something special, no question about it. But I gotta look at the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world.
Do it. Floyd's way is safe. Not in a punk, but it's like the safe way. Like
Floyd Mayweather erupted after Stephen A. Smith dismissed his legacy, claiming Terence Crawford could beat him. Smith argued that Mayweather isn't the greatest fighter of all time, insisting Sugar Ray Leonard was superior. He added that Floyd's best victories came at lightweight and that he struggled to dominate in higher weight classes. Smith even called Mayweather's win over Canelo Alvarez unimpressive, a remark that infuriated Floyd, who refused to accept such criticism.
Who you do it against?
Your level of competition. Is it possible that he's so far beyond his level of competition that he made it look easy?
Well, I think he did as a lightweight. When he went up to the welterweight division, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Now, if
taking out Canelo the way he took out.
Well, he just gave him a boxing lesson, but Canelo was 22 years old. See, I remember
That's
that.
an excuse, though.
Well,
I don't like this, like he's 22, he's too young.
I will tell you this. Well, you do have to take that into consideration.
The guy had 100 fights.
Well, let me explain.
22.
You have to take that into consideration when boxing is the issue. Now, if he got knocked on his ass, that's different. But when he simply got schooled when you swinging a punch and Floyd is tapping you on your shoulder saying, I'm behind you, that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? That's just a skill, like,
we could credit Floyd with that.
Of course, I am crediting. I'm saying he's a brilliant boxer. This Floyd knew how to move before you even threw the damn punch. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be a veteran to know how to overcome that. You can't put a novice into the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather. You understand? He's going to school you. What I'm saying to you is that if you want to make an argument on Floyd Money Mayweather's half, which I'm not summarily dismissing, I would tell you it's this. Floyd Money Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
He often struggled with hand injuries, but continued to deliver dominant performances. In a detailed comparison between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, analysts highlighted Crawford's recent triumph over Canelo Alvarez as a remarkable achievement. While some fans now lean toward Crawford in a hypothetical matchup, they stressed the need for balance in comparing the two. Crawford's win was undeniably impressive, yet it's important to remember that Mayweather had already defeated Canelo decisively years earlier, when the Mexican star was still developing. Dismissing Floyd's brilliance in favor of Crawford's success overlooks how both fighters have uniquely shaped boxing history. In truth, the reality lies somewhere in between. Crawford deserves immense credit for his victory, but Mayweather's domination of Canelo remains a historic performance that should never be underestimated.
It's about it a little bit better than Floyd in this sense. Floyd will when Floyd fought Canelo, he was standing right there. He wasn't running and all of that. He wasn't doing all of the stuff that they say, oh, a runner, Mayweather's a runner. He wasn't doing that versus Canelo. He was right there. And I can't even really remember Canelo catching him like that, like with nothing. With Bud, I could remember Canelo catching Bud a couple times, but Bud, gave him the, all right, put your foot out, what's up? Boxing turn, boxing turn, boxing turn. And was really standing there and giving it to him with another type of energy. The energy is more so all right, what's up? You can't beat me. Floyd energy be bop, bop, I'm better than you. You see what I'm saying? They don't really be respecting that all the time. They'll acknowledge it yo, I ain't gonna lie, he hard to catch. But they be nah, you didn't beat me up. Bud go about his fights in a way where as though the Mexican fan base gotta be I ain't gonna lie, Canelo, he hollered at you. He came at you too. He didn't just be better than you. He was better, and then he was all right, I'm gonna come at you. And I think they really respect that. Shit, I respect it. I don't think it's not, I think the less you get hit, the better. I'm always gonna take it that way. So, you know what I'm saying? As a boxing fan, the kind of boxing fan that I am, I would have leaned towards Floyd's performance, but Bud's performance was if I'm a cash.
Trainer Booz Ennis spoke passionately about Terence Crawford's place in boxing, defending him against critics who question his achievements. He emphasized that Crawford has consistently proven himself as one of the greatest of his generation, always willing to take on tough opponents without hesitation. Ennis highlighted Crawford's belief that he performs best under pressure and thrives on risk, a quality that sets him apart from many of his peers. By constantly challenging himself against top-tier fighters, Crawford earned his place among boxing's elite. Ennis urged fans to stop downplaying Crawford's accomplishments and recognize that few fighters in history have matched his versatility, courage, and success.
He'll tell you that if he had to sit down a little bit more. But I tell you, Terence can fight and he can box. And he can fight. He'll fight this side. He take chances, man. You know what I mean? And that's how you be great, man. And he one of the greatest out there now. I think he's great. I think he's the best out there right now in that division. You know what I mean?
What's left?
For Terence?
Yeah.
If I was Terence, I would retire. That's what I would do. He did everything, man. He's done everything, man. You know what I mean? Look how many titles he done won. All that stuff, you know what I mean? I think I'll go off one in the sunset, man. You know what I mean? You don't need no more.
Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian Bomack McIntyre, believes his fighter still has major moments ahead. He revealed that Crawford might compete 2 or 3 more times before retiring and is considering a move up to 160 pounds. McIntyre explained that this move isn't just about winning titles, but about cementing an already Hall of Fame-worthy legacy. He made it clear that Crawford has already secured his place in boxing history by winning historic fights and becoming undisputed across multiple weight divisions. Still, the idea of conquering higher weight classes excites both the team and fans. McIntyre emphasized that Crawford no longer seeks validation. He's focused on defining his legacy among the all-time greats by taking on challenges that only true legends embrace.
You can't take it away from him, neither.
Does this one mean more to you than the other ones?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It gives us the opportunity as a team to go into the Hall of Fame. Instead of a fighter going in there, instead of a coach going in there, it gives us a better chance of going there as a team.
Well, congrats on that. I know that means a lot to you and the team.
Definitely that.
You know, I asked Bud this after the fight 2 weeks ago. Would he consider this his signature win? He said, yeah, one of them. Do you think that was his signature win of his career?
Well, the last fight?
Yeah, the Canelo win.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the underdog. Everybody thought that, you know, he was going to get beat.
What's up?
That he was going to get beat. Surprising.
So what's next for Bud? What do you want to see him do?
I just want to see him, you know, spend time with his family because, you know, training for a fight, you be gone a long time. You're going away from the family. And it could take a toll on you after a while. So,
as his trainer, do you feel like you should just sail off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
you know what? He made it look so easy. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, 2, 3.
Timothy Bradley spoke passionately about Terence Crawford's impact on the sport, explaining that many young fighters struggle with self-doubt, especially when faced with criticism early in their careers. Crawford, he said, is the perfect example of how determination and resilience can silence doubters. Despite skepticism at the start of his journey, Crawford consistently proved his critics wrong through his performances in the ring. Bradley praised him for becoming an inspiration to the next generation by achieving what many thought impossible, becoming a multiple-time undisputed champion across several divisions. To Bradley, Crawford represents more than just wins. He embodies faith, courage, and the belief that hard work can overcome any challenge. Today, young fighters see Crawford not only as a champion, but as a role model who truly defines the spirit of never giving up.
To the youth, man. Anybody that's troubled, any troubled kid out there, man, they can look at you and say, hey, man, I got a fighting chance to get myself out the situation. All I got to do is make that choice. That's what you did, Crawford. You made that choice, man. You made that choice to change, bro. You know, you saw it going down, man, years ago, man, in 2008, man, when that bullet came through that window, you knew you had to do something, or you'll end up 6 feet under, bro. You know. So that courage that you had, man, and that will that you had, and that mindset to change, man, and the gym, you know, grooming you and turning you into a man, because that's what boxing does. See, people don't understand, man, that boxing is more than just throwing punches. You know, boxing teaches you discipline. You know, it teaches you love for people, love for others, man. You know, working together. You know, you're there constantly every single day, man. You know, spending time there perfecting a craft, man. Perfecting yourself. Understanding yourself, learning more about yourself each and every single day. You push it inside the gym. You know, boxing is more than just throwing punches.
Floyd Mayweather's journey transcended the sport of boxing itself. As Oladipo observed, Mayweather skillfully built two iconic personas, Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather, both of which captivated audiences worldwide. Early in his career, Pretty Boy Floyd was a fearless risk-taker known for his explosive knockouts. Later, as Money Mayweather, he evolved into the ultimate strategist and businessman, mastering defensive boxing while transforming every fight into a global spectacle. His unmatched pay-per-view dominance and marketing genius elevated him beyond the ring. Oladipo praised Mayweather not only for his boxing brilliance, but also for pioneering a business model that modern fighters still try to emulate. By blending technical perfection with showmanship, Floyd became more than a champion. He became a cultural icon and the architect of boxing's modern commercial era.
He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom, but sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s, and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking, I watch the whole fucking episodes, and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument, oh, you should have fought that person then, and I get it. I get it, right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm gonna work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. So I repeat that. I'm gonna work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, whoa, shit, man, this guy's in this fight, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd...
Crawford's stunning victory over Canelo Alvarez has fueled debate about his future in boxing. Some insiders, including members of his own team, have urged him to retire now and protect his legacy, arguing that he's already achieved greatness and has nothing left to prove. Others in the sport, however, downplay his win and suggest he should step away before his reputation fades. This divide has created tension, as many believe Crawford still has plenty to offer. His recent performances show no decline, and fans are eager to see him in more major fights. While retirement remains an option, Crawford's legacy as one of boxing's all-time greats is already secure. His achievements will endure whether he continues fighting or not.
Like that Terence Crawford did what he did against Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford made himself the face of boxing, and he did it. He made it look easy. He made the Errol Spence fight look easy. That was supposed to be the toughest test of his career. I thought it was. The whole world thought it was. It was the easiest fight he had at welterweight. I thought, but I've been saying for years that he's gonna easily beat Canelo Alvarez, and he did. But many people expected Canelo to knock him out. That wasn't the case. With that said, now people are trying to throw, he's 38. Tomorrow, Terence Crawford will be 38 years old. He's a 5-division champion. If he wants to stick around, like Terence Crawford stated, okay, Terence Crawford stated, if I do stick around, I'm not dropping down no further than 160 pounds. If he stays in boxing, I say he have 2 more fights. Fight Janibek, who's the unified champion. Hopefully calls Adames and Lara fight and unify the belts. 2 fights at 160, pad the stats, become a 6-division champion and a 4-division undisputed champion. Cool. Other than that, Terence Crawford needs to retire.
Trainer Robert Garcia weighed in on the Mayweather-Crawford debate, reminding fans that while Mayweather's record and accomplishments are unmatched, He was never an undisputed champion, a distinction Crawford has achieved. Garcia acknowledged Crawford's historical significance for that reason, but admitted that, in a direct comparison, he would still favor Mayweather. He explained that even a fighter as talented as Crawford would struggle against Mayweather's elite defense, impeccable timing, and in-ring intelligence. For Garcia, it was Floyd's ability to completely neutralize opponents that set him apart, making him one of the toughest challenges any boxer could face. Though he deeply respects Crawford's achievements, Garcia believes Mayweather's technical mastery and strategic brilliance place him above nearly every fighter, including today's champions.
To me, is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. You know, there's still greats out there. There's still, you know, his era or last era, you know, with the Mayweather and with the Pacquiao. I think he's, you know, already accomplished more. Pacquiao was A division, so we could argue there because Pacquiao was, A division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5-division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishment.
Greg Hackett added another dimension to the debate by comparing Floyd Mayweather's performance against Canelo Alvarez to Terence Crawford's. He argued that when Floyd faced Canelo, he was already a fully developed, technically flawless boxer with unmatched composure. In contrast, Hackett described Crawford's style as more aggressive and adaptable, but lacking the flawless precision that defined Mayweather's 12-round mastery. He emphasized that Mayweather's defensive genius and ring control remain unparalleled in boxing history. While Hackett admires Crawford's achievements, he believes Floyd's version of dominance operated on a different level. Crawford's explosiveness is spectacular, but Mayweather's calculated brilliance against Canelo was closer to perfection. Meanwhile, Stephen A. Smith praised Crawford's win over Canelo as one of the most entertaining performances in recent memory. He noted that despite being the smaller man against a stronger opponent, Crawford made the fight look one-sided. Smith applauded him not only for his technical excellence, but also for delivering an unforgettable show, saying boxing needs fighters like Crawford, those who blend elite skill with entertainment value and keep the sport exciting for fans worldwide.
But the biggest props of the night goes to Terence Crawford, who did not disappoint. He was supposed to be the smaller man. He was supposed to be the weaker man. He was supposed to be the man that was going to spend the entire night on his bicycle, running for his damn life because Saul Canelo Alvarez was coming his way. That is not what happened. What happened instead, ladies and gentlemen, was a masterclass in boxing by Terence Crawford. Now, to me, the fight, some people were saying it was a severely lopsided.
Veteran journalist Dan Rafael offered a long-term perspective on Terence Crawford's career, asserting that Crawford no longer needs to fight to secure his place in boxing history. His record already speaks volumes: multiple titles across divisions, victories over top-tier opponents, and a legacy of dominance. Rafael believes that once fighters reach this level, their goals should shift from proving themselves to preserving their legacy. He warned that chasing unnecessary fights could risk tarnishing what Crawford has already built. Instead, Rafael argued, Crawford should be celebrated as one of boxing's greatest achievements. His resume, filled with historic milestones, guarantees his place among the legends of the sport, whether he chooses to keep fighting or retire now.
But he stood in the pocket, like he's not moving anywhere from him. He's using his head moving, he's not being stupid, but he's not necessarily moving away from Canelo. Like you said, he's walking the, quote unquote bigger man down and forcing the action rather than going off, reacting to Canelo's attacks. So I think it was such an impressive display, but it sort of begs the question now, when you've a 3-time undisputed champion, I know money's important, financials, we always talk about that, his legacy is intact regardless. We'll start with Terence, what does a Terence Crawford do now? Like what's the next thing that he does? Because you look around and go, is the only way that he really gets that ultimate chance if he goes up again? And do you say, what do you do?
I don't quite. Yeah, I mean, he was asked those questions at the press conference. He made 2 things clear. One, he's not going back to 154, and I say that because some people suggested about possibly pursuing a fight with Ennis. who has his debut in the weight class coming up. That's probably unlikely. He's not going to go back down in weight. And I mean, no disrespect to Ennis, but Ennis is a guy that's known within the diehards of boxing. He's not in any way known beyond the boundaries of the hardcore boxing fan. So I don't know if that makes sense for a lot of different reasons for him. Not to say I wouldn't, as a boxing fan, enjoy watching the fight. So, but I don't think he's going back to 154. He was asked about like a Benavides at 175, and he acknowledged like that guy's really big. I mean, that's maybe a bridge too far. He already went up to 2 weight classes to fight Canelo at 68. So it feels to me like he could either stay at 168 and defend this championship and look to the same types of names that were being thrown around as the types of guys that would have been in the mix for Canelo had he won the fight.
That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more. Until next time.